Beautiful win by the New York Knicks. Let's talk about this. Knox with a breakout game, baby. Let's go. And before we go, I just want to remind you guys, next Thursday, it's December 6th, 11 p.m., Alonzo Trier's mother, she's going to be on to tell her inspirational story. And it's going to be great, folks. It's going to be great. Raising money for women in need. Hopefully you join us. Forget about this December 8th. It's December the 6th. And let's talk. Knicks family, what is popping, man? Like I said, December the 6th, Alonzo Trier's mother is going to be with us on the show. And, you know, she's going to talk to us a little bit about her experience, tell her inspirational story. You know, it's going to be great. All right. So make sure you join us, and hopefully you open up your wallets and donate, because we'll be donating that night to Women in Need, the WIN program that helps women in need and children and families find shelter, find food, all those type of things. All right. So, you know, make sure that you're available December the 6th. Don't worry about what that just said. December the 6th. Make sure you're available. Anyway, let's talk about tonight, man. Great win tonight. Very, very good win tonight. I'm happy about this win tonight. Very happy about this win tonight. I got Prince with us. I'm sure some other people are going to be joining the video chat. But the Knicks just beat the Milwaukee Bucks at home for a very nice win. After playing such a horrible and miserable game in Philadelphia, the Knicks rebounded. The Knicks rebounded for a nice win versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And this is exactly what we needed to see, right? Exactly what we needed to see, exactly what we wanted to see. Glad that the Knicks could rebound. Kevin Knox finally had a breakout game, right? The kind of game that we were looking for from Kevin Knox. Right? I mean, obviously there's some things that he could do, but listen, Kevin Knox had a nice breakout game tonight. Hopefully this is something that can stir the pot, get him going, and keep the momentum going. You know what I mean? Keep the momentum going for Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox tonight, off the bench, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. You seen him hustling for loose balls. This is what we expected. This is the type of game I think we expected from Kevin Knox coming into the season after what we've seen in Summer League, and we got one tonight. So let's hope that he's found a groove, right? And maybe those reports that were in the paper, you know, put a little bit of fire under him and made him say, "Yo, I need to come out and do something," right? So big shout out to Kevin Knox for his numbers tonight. And we got Aunt G now in the video chat. So we're gonna get with Aunt G, and I want to talk with Aunt G, find out what he thinks about Kevin Knox, find out what Prince thinks about Kevin Knox. I want to know what you think about Kevin Knox, man, because this was a very, very good win for the New York Knicks, and Kevin Knox was one of the main characters in this win. All right, but before I get there, and I'm going to be reminding you the entire stream, ladies and gentlemen, the entire stream. Again, December the 6th, Alonzo Trier's mother, Marcy Trier. I was going to tell her inspirational story. And all of the proceeds, all of the super chat proceeds, we'll be accepting donations that night for women in need. All right. 100% of the proceeds donated, super chat proceeds, will be donated directly to WIN, the largest provider of shelter and supportive housing for homeless families in New York City. All right, so make sure you join us. It's going to be a fun night. All right, so let's get back to our video chat. Let's get back to let's get to the video chat because we haven't gotten to the video chat yet. We're going to get to them right now. All right, and I want to know what they think. All right, so Prince, what do you think, Prince? What did you think about this evening's event in in New York, in Madison Square Garden? How you feel about it? What's going on, man? How you feel about the win tonight?
Hey man, like I said, I'm not gonna get too hyped. I just hope that I think they got that bulletin board material, and I think that really it woke them guys up. I don't think that they like hearing Frank was in a possibility of being traded. I don't think Knox like hearing the bus comments from a lot of the haters, and I think this was a statement win. I really think this woke up a sleeping giant. I've been seeing people screaming in the chat that Giannis is better than KP, and all of this craziness. But here we go tonight. Giannis couldn't beat us without KP. So with that being said, I mean, I'm not really sold on Giannis. So all y'all talking about Giannis is better than KP, I better think twice because Giannis couldn't beat us without KP. Bud got out-coached by Coach Fizz. But Knox, 9 for 20, super confident. He came out and fought against a giant. So, like I said, I know my boys is going to wake up. We still got 3/4 of the season left, and we're going to see a lot more better basketball and a lot more progression out these boys. So, hey, I think this is the tip of the iceberg. And like you said, Sim, hopefully this woke up the sleeping giant, man. I really do.
Okay. Let me see who we got up here. Ant? What do you think, man?
Yo, I hate when Knicks fans do what the Prince just did, man. After we get a good win, we downplay the opponent we beat.
What are you talking about? Hold on, what are you talking about?
It's because Giannis is so good. Giannis isn't as good as they say. Giannis is an animal. So the reason why it's a good win is because we beat him. We're not gonna beat him and say, "Oh, he ain't that good." Nah, he's that good. And that's why it was a good win. I like what I saw out of Doc. Doc should never get another DNP again. I even like what I saw out of Tim. Tim wouldn't have his shot falling. He ended up 8 or 9 assists. He wasn't forcing it. When Knox was hot, when Moutier was hot, Tim was deferring to those guys. And I like to see that because in the past, Tim would keep shooting and shooting and shooting. But he let Knox and Moutier, get off because he saw that they were on. So, that was a good look to see. We all saw what Knox is capable of. And he went out there. And to me, what transpired over the last couple of days and the way he played today showed me more about him than any other thing he's done this season. He was getting talked about in the media. People were dragging him. And he, handled it the right way in the press conference, in the interview he had.
Right.
He answered the questions the right way. And then he came out and had the best game of his career. And to me, that shows, a mental toughness and mental fortitude in a young guy that can do that in New York. So I like the timing of this breakout game. He responded to critics and, he shut him up with his game.
And he did it. He did a good job responding to the critics as well, right? He did a good job.
It was a different energy level from him tonight. Even the block he had on Brook Lopez and the dive he had on the floor, and when he missed one of his shots, he crashed the ball. It was a different energy level.
Right.
And if he can keep that kind of energy level up, the sky's the limit for this kid. I would have liked to see Frank tonight, but I'm not gonna let that mess up this game for me.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We'll get to that. We're gonna get to that. Let's talk about the good stuff, right? Let's talk about the good stuff. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right, let me get to my man right here. My man Nitzko. What's your name again?
Jay.
Jay, what's poppin', Jay? Thank you for joining us again, my man. So what do you think about the game? How you feel about it?
It was good. It was good. I feel like they maturing right before our eyes. Okay. I feel like Knox he's loosening up. I feel like he's doing his thing. I don't like when he's out there on I'm talking about the past few games. He's been loosening up. Before, he would just be in the corner. Or, Moody, they stuck in the game. They didn't give up. They fought back to the very end.
Yeah. Moody was balling today. Moody was balling and hooping with a purpose today, man. I like what I seen. Definitely like what I seen from Moody today. You know, let's go ahead and do a quick recap of the game before we get to. I know people want to talk about Frank or whatever. We're gonna get to that, but let's rejoice in what's good. I see Mark has joined us. I want to see what Mark thinks and what Mark is getting to, because I think Kevin Knox showed and did some things that Mark's been asking Kevin Knox to do, right? So I'm pretty sure Mark is happy about what he's seen from Kevin Knox today. Kevin Knox has a breakout game, folks. A breakout game today, and it's Kevin Knox today versus the Milwaukee Bucks off the bench. 26 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. All right, so big shout out to Kevin Knox for responding to his critics and making his critics look bad. Or maybe even making them look good, because I'm sure they'll spin it and say, well, I'm the reason why Kevin Knox came off and had a good game. You know what I mean? Looking at the box scores. Excuse me there. There we go. Looking at the box scores. Mario Hezonja, 12 minutes, had 2 points. His 2 points came on a monster dunk over Giannis Antetokounmpo on a fast break. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Noah Vonleh really gave us some energy coming in at the beginning of the game. 15 points, 5 rebounds. But not just at the beginning of the game. He did a good job on Giannis. Listen, Noah Vonleh is really coming into his own with us right now. And he's knocking it down from 3. He's rebounding the ball. He can score the ball. Not at will, but he can score the ball. He's definitely playing well for us. Very well. And that's Cantor played 26 minutes, had 8 points, 7 rebounds. Tim Hardaway Jr., 21 points, low percentage from the field. We know that's going to happen. He's 3 for 8 from the 3-point line, shooting at his season's average, 37%. 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Yeah, 8 assists tonight. All right. Now, those 8 assists probably come because people are knocking down shots too. You know, not that he doesn't that he doesn't make passes. And it's not like tonight was a special thing for him to have those 8. It's a special thing. Tim Hardaway is distributing the ball. He's trying to become more of a distributor, learning to distribute the ball a little bit more. He has been doing it as much as he can. It's just people don't always knock down shots. Tonight, people were knocking down shots. Okay. But Tim Hardaway, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. I would love for him to get his field goal percentage up, man. He's got to be shooting. I haven't looked at it lately, but I believe he's shooting below 40% for the season. That's not good. But let's rejoice today. Emmanuel Mudiay, 28 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. 1 steal. Emmanuel Mudiay is hooping, my friends. And he's letting you know that I'm here. I am here. Big shot. Now, listen, nobody played well in the Philadelphia game. But Emmanuel Mudiay came out and did his thing tonight. He's been playing well lately. He's shooting well from the field. He's shooting well from 3. Shot 80% from 3 tonight, 4 for 5. You got to give a big shout out to Emmanuel Mudiay and what he's doing. Kevin Knox, Trey Burke, as you know, went down with a sprained knee, hopefully it doesn't keep him out for too long. We'll see, and I guess we'll have some questions about Trey Burke not being there, just the way the lineups are with 2 specific guys out of the lineup. Is this something that we should expect? We'll talk about it. Kevin Knox, again, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Alonzo Trier, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Mitchell Robinson, 6 points, 5 rebounds, but big blocks and a big block in the end of the game, big rebounds at the end of the game. Came out big for us. Damian Dotson came out big for us in the fourth quarter, overtime, 21 points, 5 rebounds, and it was all around team effort tonight. For sure, it was an all around team effort. Big shout out to the New York Knicks for pulling this one out, man. In overtime versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Looking at the matchup, the Bucks, the Knicks had a decent start to the game. They were down 35-28. They won the second quarter 33-21, won the third quarter, won the fourth quarter, and then, of course, won the overtime to win the game 136-134. The Knicks' biggest lead with 7. The Bucks' biggest lead 16. It's a great game by the Knicks, man. The Bucks shot 48.9% from the field. The Knicks 53.1%. The Knicks shot 58.8% from the three-point line. It's not something that we're going to expect all the time, but we'll take it tonight. The Bucks shot 42 threes. They hit at a 42.9% clip. The Bucks won a rebounding battle 51-41, but the Knicks were hitting shots. And the Bucks, they were both hitting shots. So, the Knicks had 30 assists tonight. Definitely a season's high. 30 assists. Of course, they were hitting shots. So you're gonna get assists when you're hitting at a 53% clip. You're gonna get assists when you're hitting shots. The Knicks had 5 steals, 2 blocks, and only 16 turnovers. Well, 16 turnovers. I don't know if I want to say only, but 16 turnovers. That's the story. That's the recap of the game tonight. The Knicks played a good one. Pulled out a good win. And listen, so far, with what we thought was going to be one of the roughest stretches of the Knicks season, they've been playing well. They won 3 straight over 3 very good teams, and then they dropped 2. Now they come back and win 1, right? Which means they've won 4 of their last 6 games, 4 of their last 7 games, if you want to say. Right? Because they played a good one against the Blazers as well. All right, they play Washington Monday. We'll get to it. But that's a team that maybe is beatable. And, this Knicks team is looking like they want to do something. I don't care what no one says. Even I know I was really, really down on them against Philadelphia. But for them to come back and play the way that they played shows some grit, shows some toughness, and shows some mental toughness. To just be able to come back and have that kind of heart after the type of game that they played in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? It tells me that, they want something. They want it. Do they have enough to get it? That's yet to be seen, but they want it. They want it. So big shout out to the Knicks tonight, man. For this kind of a victory. I'm proud that we pulled off this kind of victory. All right. I want to get back to the video chat, talk to these guys a little bit, see what these guys think, and then of course, and tonight's gonna be a shorter show, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a basketball workout about 8:45. So as soon as I'm done here, I'm running to the gym. And me and my daughter gonna, work on her game a little bit. All right. So, excuse me for a shorter show. So it's gonna be short. It's gonna be compact. All right, short and compact, and we're going to, have some good conversations, and as we're enjoying this short show, right? So we're enjoying this short show. So it's gonna be a shorter show, but we're gonna enjoy it nonetheless. Let's get to the video chat. Before we get to the video chat, though, let me just mention one more time. No, not that. There we go. Let me just mention one more time. December the 6th. Live stream, 11 p.m. Alonzo Trier's mother. This is after the Boston Celtics game. Alonzo Trier's mother, Marcy Trier. She's going to tell her inspirational story right, is supporting Zoe's Built for This campaign. And if you haven't heard of Zoe's Built for This campaign, I'm going to put a link where you can buy a t-shirt that says ISO Zoe Built for This. And proceeds from those shirts support the WIN program, which is Women and Children. And 100% of the super chat proceeds from that night will be donated directly to WIN, the largest provider of shelter and supportive housing for homeless families in NYC. Okay, so right now, I'm putting a link to Zoe's shirts. That's the link to Zoe's shirts right there. You can buy a shirt right now. And just remember, December the 5th is the last time you can buy a shirt. Okay? December the 5th is the last time you can buy one of Zoe's shirts. And again, those shirts are going to support a very, very good cause. All right? So purchase one of the shirts. I think they cost like $25. All right? So let's get back to the video chat. Let's talk to these guys just a little bit. Video chat, what's popping with you, Mark? I'm coming to you. Mark, what's popping, man? What's popping, bro? What's up with you?
Great win today. Listen, I want the media to do what they did so they get Kevin Knox play like this. I want them to just talk bad about him. So I like how he backed himself up today. It was pleasant to watch. He was taking the game in his own hands at times. He wasn't hesitating. He was making plays. He was aggressive. He ran the plays that Fizz was giving him instead of not doing it correctly, because a lot of plays was run tonight. I don't want to hear this Fizz not running plays, because he ran a whole bunch of plays tonight because we had a lot of open shots for him. So I like tonight. We played with grit. We almost played like we got amnesia. We have a bad game one day and come back playing hard. But that's Fizz. But we're gonna have games like that.
Yeah, I will say this though. I think that he made more of an effort to say let's try to get this guy the ball on some spots maybe. Now, of course, he has to do something with the ball when he gets it. And I'm sure he made more of an effort to do something with the ball when he gets it as well. They had some practice time, right? They had some practice time, so I'm sure he they put some. Hopefully, they put some things in, right, and worked on some things because they had some practice time. That'll happen when you have a little bit more practice time.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And like as you just said, like the coach was giving him. The coach is only going to give plays to players that are confident. He will give you some plays, but if you don't commit to it, coach is not going to keep going back to you. That's just the way basketball. So he took the challenge tonight that the coach might have gave him. Well, let's say New York media, because what he said in the interview was well done, and he came out and did his thing. Moutier did his thing tonight, even though he hit some lucky ass threes, but he did well tonight. Tim was on his Tim joint. He did a couple of passing, but the player of my game, I got to give it up to Vonleh. It's to a point, when I'm watching the Knicks games, we have to get calls now because this is ridiculous. There were so many calls that the ref missed out on us. But I want to give Vonleh the play of the game because he defended Giannis. Because you could have called on Giannis almost every play coming down from the carrying, from him using his elbow to create room. But the play of the game of mine is Vonleh because he guarded the best player, and he did a great damn job, especially on I want to say the Knicks did a great job on the last shot with Giannis, because I thought they was gonna just single coverage, and they doubled at the right time.
Yeah. Okay. And the only thing I got to say, Mark, is can you save your player of the game until like we get to that segment? So you don't like give it up. And like every time
I get so excited, so I just have to throw it out there.
I know, like every time, like that's the first thing you say. My player of the game was, And it's like, damn, I mean, we didn't even get there yet.
Nah, because look, when I watch the game and I see good things on the floor, and it comes from a player that helped us win the game. I'm going to say it because I'm excited.
I know, but get excited during that segment. That's all I'm saying. Just get excited during the Knicks player of the game segment. Viv, what's popping, man?
Hey, Sam, how you doing?
I'm good. 30 assists tonight. How you feel about that?
It was good, actually. I was following the game, and I saw that, we were a lot more faster with the way we were making decisions. And I think we had, 7 or 8 assists in the first quarter. I know Tim had 4 in the first quarter. And we somehow ended up with 14. I think they were a lot quicker in what to do on the offensive end. So, I give them credit. I mean, even though it was a high scoring game, I mean, they got 30 assists, whatever you say, 136 points, 30 assists is still a pretty good number.
It is. And I mean, and listen, when you get a little bit of practice time, some things like that'll happen. But clearly the complaints that, some of us have made, not that Fizdale could care less what we're saying, were on point, because he must have seen some of these things himself, right? And as a fan, I'm impatient, you're impatient, we're all impatient. We want to see it a little quicker. Hopefully he's seen some of them things himself, and he said, okay, we gotta put something together there, because they look much more under control tonight.
Well, I think what I liked actually is that they I don't know if this is by design or this just happened just in the natural flow of the game, but they had Tim facilitate a lot more in the game, and you kind of saw it with some of the pick and rolls. I saw a lot of Tim and Knox chemistry, and that contributed to Tim's 8 assists. Even though Tim didn't have a great shooting game, he still had 8 assists. So I mean, I'll give Tim credit on that end. But I liked how it was on everyone to kind of pass the ball a little bit. So there was a collective effort. It wasn't just Tim, it wasn't just Moutier, but even Trier had 5 assists, even Knox had 4 assists. So you like when you move the ball around, and we talked about it before. When you move the ball around and other people get the ball, the energy on the floor is just a lot better, and you can kind of see it in when they're passing more. Guys like Knox are getting better looks. They're hitting shots at a higher rate. And you just see that energy just flows around, and they just have to continue doing it. Not just against teams like Milwaukee, but they got to do it against every team they face.
Right. And we'll see if that's always going to be the issue. Can they stay consistent with what they're doing? That's always going to be the issue, if they can stay consistent, because the youngest team in the league. So we'll see how that we'll see how that goes. Nate,
what's up, Sim?
What's going on, man? What's up, man? How you gotta be feeling good. You gotta be feeling good about this.
Yeah,
man.
I mean that's a hell of a game, man. I mean, hard fought. Moutier made some big time shots, and that's good to see. And with a young team, got to give it to Vonleh. Vonleh really played Giannis well, but I mean, my God, can somebody call a traveling call on that dude? I mean, the guy, I've never seen a star travel so much in a game. It's sad. It's really sad. And then he wanted to call at the end. It's like, dude, you get every call in the world. Like the push off on Vonleh on that last play where he got fouled out. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
Listen,
I mean, I'm glad we won the game, but I would have been pissed if we would have lost this game.
I know. I mean, it's gonna happen. Have you ever seen the travel that Melo did? I forgot who we played. He was on the Knicks. The travel that Melo did, where he took 8 steps before he launched the 3. I think they were playing Miami. I mean, these stars are not gonna get caught. I mean, if you haven't seen that travel, please just go into YouTube and type in Carmelo Anthony travel. That's one of the worst travels I ever seen in my life. All I could do is sit there and just die laughing because the referee was standing right there. These guys travel. The referees, certain players, they're just gonna overlook it. You know what I mean? And it's not much we can do about that. He travels all the time, Sim. Oh my God, it's so bad. Yeah, I mean, it's not much we could do about it. LeBron James travels like a mug too. That man.
That is true. LeBron, he's getting those calls.
Travel like crazy, man.
But overall, I'm happy with the win, man. I mean, that's a tough Milwaukee team that we beat, and I mean, they put a beat down on us in Milwaukee, and then we came back and almost won that game. Oh, man, I mean.
Well, yeah. We came back and almost won the game. So definitely
It's a good win. It's a good win.
Yeah, definitely a good win. Good win tonight. Clearly, one of the stories of the game, and excuse me, just to let everyone know, once again, this is going to be a shorter show, all right? Because I got basketball workouts tonight about 8:40, about 9 o'clock. So I'll be getting off of here in about 15 minutes. Thank you all for joining me, as it is. But of course, the story of tonight is Frank Ntilikina. Right? Big story tonight. Frank Ntilikina. Well, not the biggest story tonight. The biggest story tonight is that the Knicks won and that Kevin Knox had a breakout game and we had contributions from players all over the floor. That's the biggest story tonight, clearly. But one of the stories of the night, obviously, is Frank Ntilikina. And a lot of questions on whether or not Frank Ntilikina continues to be in the Knicks' plans. That is definitely a story and something that we probably want to pay attention to, right? Because, listen, Frank played 0 minutes tonight. We can't. No one can complain about Frank not playing minutes tonight. You all know I'm the biggest Frank supporter. I'm a huge Frank supporter. I love Frank Ntilikina, right? But let's be honest. The last few games, Frank hasn't produced, right? Hasn't produced. We can argue about his, him not playing his position. We can argue about him not being used right. Whatever it is, he hasn't produced. I know I have my opinions on it, but he hasn't produced. Okay, so he didn't play. And we won the game. So not much could be complained about. My question, though, is Frank Ntilikina out? We've all heard, we've seen the trade rumors, the stories, and all those things. Is he out? Before we answer that, let me look at a couple of super chats. Give a shout out to a couple of people. Mighty Knicks said, Dotson and Knox ruined my losing streak prediction. I'm glad they ruined your losing streak prediction. Big shout out to Chester. Said Timmy taketh and he giveth. Yep, you're right about that. He does, but I still like what I seen from him tonight. And then I don't like what I seen from him shooting percentage wise, but as far as the assists and those things, big shout out to Timmy for that. And then Mighty Knicks, once again with the super chat, said, I hope Frank goes to the Raptors for Siakam, or are you saying for Siakam and Ibaka, or to play with them? I'm not exactly sure what you're saying there. I mean, I don't want Frank to be traded at all. I don't think, even if his playing time, whatever it is, I don't want to give up on the kid. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's way too early to give up on him, right? And if we talk about his playing time tonight, like I said, it's hard to argue when he's had the production that he's had, with his lack of playing time. It's hard to argue. It's not hard to argue. You can't argue, right? Let's hope that this is something that, will make him say, whoa, I need to come out here and whatever it is that coach is asking him to do and do it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes being benched is part of a player's development. It just is. Sometimes you got to be benched in order for you to say, okay, what am I doing wrong? Just like it happened with Timmy, right? When he went down to the G League. Sometimes you got to be benched to say, okay, what am I doing wrong? And what am I going to do to fix it? It's just, that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would like to see him given the same type of leash as some of the other players. I agree with some people who have said that. I definitely would, because you know how much I support Frank and that I think he has certain qualities that are needed. But I can't tell you what's going on in the locker room because I'm not in the locker room. You know what I mean? I'm not in the locker room, so I can't tell you what's going on in the locker room. So there it is, right? But then, of course, now there are rumors that the Suns, the Grizzlies, the Magic are interested in Frank Ntilikina. And so, of course, people are going to ask the question, did Frank sit because he's on the trading block? And people, the Knicks don't want to see him get hurt. Is that the reason that Frank sat? I guess it's a good question, a valid question. I can't really say that it's the case. I believe that the Knicks are still going to invest in Frank Ntilikina. I think that the Knicks are, this is one step in his development. That's what I'm hoping, and that's what I'm going to believe. Right? That is one step in his development, and that the Knicks still support and want to see Frank Ntilikina develop and try to help him develop. Now, they've got to do I think that they've got to do some different things with him, in my opinion. But with Moutier doing what he's doing, I don't know. I don't know. But, if you want to take a look at, I'm going to throw an article up on the screen that you can take a look at. That kind of explains, if you haven't, I'm sure you've heard, but if you haven't seen anything about or read anything about the teams that are interested in Frank Ntilikina, I'm going to throw this up on the screen. You can take a look at it. All right. It's, there we go. Suns, Grizzlies, Magic are interested in Knicks guard Ntilikina. Right. According to Mike Vorkunov of The Athletic, Ntilikina is drawing interest from the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic at the Philadelphia game had scouts there. And, it's a wonder that, you remember when I did my 5-minute Frank video, that 5-minute Frank video was actually based on an Orlando Magic game, I believe. So, maybe it's a wonder that they're scouting him, not saying that they seen his video, but not saying that they seen my video, but they seen some of the same things that I seen. But anyway, these teams, I guess, are interested in Frank. And then another report came out somewhere that said that the Knicks are looking for first round draft picks to trade for a star. Now and that right there came from someone who really has, the dude is from Memphis or something, or someplace else. I don't know. I guess with the Grizzlies being interested, maybe he has some information. Okay. Nonetheless, I think that it would be a mistake to trade Frank at this point in his career. Not even 2 years into his career. Not even 2 years. Not even 2 seasons into his career. I think it would be a huge mistake to trade Frank. Okay. Calling you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, son, this is Chester. How you doing?
I'm good. Chester, how are you?
Good. What's really weird is there's all these rumors that these teams are interested in Frank, but there's also all these rumors that they're saying that he's soft. So what's that about? Well, those were trying to decrease his value.
Well, I think those were scouts, right? Opposing, I don't know if I don't know. I'm not sure if it was the same teams that are interested in Frank are the same teams who were saying he was soft. I think it was, some opposing scouts, maybe even in the Atlantic Division, saying that Frank was soft, Knox was soft. But then there's some other teams that are interested in Frank, right? The Suns are interested in Frank. The Grizzlies, the Suns are interested in putting Frank next to, their other star guard, their star guard over there. I can't even think of his name right now. We'll see. I think it would be a big mistake on behalf of the Knicks to trade Frank Ntilikina so early in his development. I just think so.
Well, you know what Bill Parcells said? When teams come looking for your players, it's time to give them a raise.
Yeah, I hear you.
You hear me?
I hear you. And and listen, some of the things the Knicks have been playing well over the last 6-7 games. A couple of bad losses, but for the most part, they've been playing well, right? So it's hard to argue with moves. If they're playing well, it's hard to argue with moves that Coach Fizz or the team might be doing. But just some of the things that I heard him say, not just about Frank, just overall, Fizdale. He said, about Frank, I'm gonna let Frank be Frank. I want to turn him into one of the best defensive players in the league. I'm gonna let him do him. But then you turn around and you're not letting him do him. But he also isn't playing well. So, and it's not just that. The whole jerking around. The whole jerking around of lineups and players has kind of soured me a little bit, because I don't like that. I don't think that's good for anyone's development at all. Anyone's development. But I guess we got to see where this goes. We played a really good game tonight. Won a good game tonight. Definitely. And we'll see. We'll see. Guess we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, I got my shirt for the Trio shirt. I got that today.
Nice. Good.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the show on December 6th, which is my birthday.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday.
It'll be
looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, it'll be like 60 years of being a Knicks fan. I'll be 70. I started when I was 10.
All right. So, well, congratulations,
thanks for the great show.
Appreciate it. All right,
okay,
Jesse.
Take it easy.
Have a good one.
All right, bye.
All right. Yeah, so that's where I am with Frank, with the whole thing with Frank Ntilikina, man. Ian Begley reports, that the Phoenix Suns contacted the Knicks earlier in the year, and they said that they were not open to moving Frank Ntilikina. There are a lot of people with the Suns who are intrigued of pairing Ntilikina and Devin Booker. All right, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't want to put any sourness over this victory tonight, though. Because it was a really good one, and I'm not trying to do Sour Patch Kids tonight. All right, let me get to this other call. Caller, you on Live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yeah, Sam, this T. How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. How are you? What's going on with you, my man?
Nothing. I'm watching your show as we speak right now, man. I'm just trying to get some insights on what y'all talking about right now.
So right now, we were just talking about Frank Ntilikina and the possibility of him being traded.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to get to the video chat in a minute, see what these guys think about it. What do you think? Do you think, he didn't play tonight at all? Now, obviously, we know he hasn't been playing well, but do you think that him not playing tonight is part of the fact that teams are interested in trading for him? That, do you think that the Knicks, it just seems a little, to me, that all of a sudden now, just right now, all of a sudden these teams are interested, have shown interest, scouting him or whatever. My question is, have the Knicks put it out there, let it be known to people that they'd be willing to hear offers for Frank?
I don't think so. I just see the other teams are seeing how they're doing him right now, man. Mm-hmm. He's having bad games right now. But I think the reason for that, Sim, is because he's confused. He don't know what to do, man. You got everybody in his ear trying to tell him how to play this way, how to play that way. He's originally from Europe. So that's his genes. That's his style of play. Now that he's been drafted and put into the NBA over here, he's trying to adjust and play like they want him to play. And I think right now it's kind of hard for him because of the competition between Moutier and Burke.
Yeah, well, at least with Moutier, and at least with Moutier, because Moutier is playing really, really good right now. Let me move on to an extension of this thing with Frank, and this also involves Burke. So we seen tonight our best outing as far as the offense is concerned, right? Our best outing. Okay, we scored tonight 136 points. We had 30 assists. We shot 53% from the field. We shot 58.8% from the 3-point line. Now, of course, we know every night's not going to be like this. But how much does tonight's, the ball movement we've seen, the things that we've seen on the floor, how much does it play into, how much does Trey Burke and Frank Ntilikina not playing, how much do you put tonight's performance offensively on Frank and Trey Burke not playing? One, with Frank not slowing down the offense a little bit, right? And you know, Frank, doesn't, Frank isn't a speed player, all right? That's not how he plays. Obviously, he's had donuts the last few games. And then Trey Burke being more of just a one-on-one guy. How much did them two not be there? Now the lineup is a little bit shorter. You're not playing as many people. How much did that go into tonight's performance, do you think?
Well, I think Frank and Trey needed to see that, because when Moutier in the starting lineup and he's been the facilitator as our point guard, he's not selfish. And me personally, I think Trey is selfish. Frank's not selfish. Frank's problem is he's just worried about making the wrong play, I think, or making the wrong move. Right. Okay. But I think overall it was a lot faster. Moutier's more, I think he has more of a, he's more of a pure point guard, if you ask me. He every time he's in the game, he's not afraid to go to the hole, whether he's getting blocked or he's falling, he's going to that hole. And Frank, I don't know, man. He's a good player. He's just young, and he's just I think he's just still trying to get his foot in the door right now, man.
Yeah, he's trying to get it.
Don't get me wrong. He's a great player. He's a good scorer. But as a point guard for us, I don't think he would be the key. He's more of a shooting guard than a point guard.
Okay. All right. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. All right. And I'm gonna get over here to the video chat, and I'm gonna ask these guys the same questions. So thank you for the call, my man.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm a big Florida fan from your show, man. Love you.
Appreciate it. Peace.
All right.
Oh. All right. So I want to hear what I want to pose that same question to the video chat. I want to know what you guys think about it. Listen, I got just like a couple more minutes left, my friends. But I want to find out what you guys think about this. Let me see. I'm gonna come to Nate. Let me ask you. Let's keep it quick so we can keep it moving.
All right.
How much do you think tonight's performance is by far our best offensive performance of the season? How much do you think not having Trey Burke, not having Frank Ntilikina, the lineups are shorter, played into tonight's performance? Do you think it played into it at all?
Well, I think they ran at a faster pace, and Moutier's kind of, was really aggressive tonight and made big shots. But I wouldn't say because of the guys that we didn't have is the reason why we won. I just think, Moutier made some big shots, man. I mean, props to Moutier for really, playing hard.
Well, I'm not saying them not being there is the reason we won. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. One, you have a shorter lineup, right? So you're not going as deep from that guard position. So you had Trier, you had Dotson, you had Tim Hardaway, you had Moutier. Basically, them four guys playing that guard position. You didn't have to try to fit in Trey Burke, and he didn't play Frank, so he didn't have to try to fit in Frank. So now, those guys can kind of maximize their minutes. Sometimes it works that way, sometimes can fit that way. Now also, looking at the two with Trey Burke and Frank, Trey Burke does a lot of ISO. We know it. Frank slows down the pace. At this point in his career, isn't scoring, right? So he's not that much of a threat. I don't know. Maybe the mix is right without those two there. I'm not saying it's the truth. I'm just posing a question.
Well, I think they wanted more scoring, and you mentioned all those guards, and they have the ability to put up points. Burke just got hurt. I mean, Burke would have played a bunch of minutes if he didn't get hurt.
But Burke got hurt. But what I'm saying is, it's possible that the game could have been different also if Burke was there, right? Because of the way that he plays, maybe we don't get as much ball movement. I don't know. I'm just asking the question. Ant, what do you think, Ant?
I do think it has some effect on it, but I don't think it's because they weren't playing. I think it's a mental thing. I think Moutier knew that he was the point guard,
right?
And it's like that saying in football, like if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. And I feel like that's my biggest frustration with I'm not frustrated with Frank being benched. Frank is just like the rest of the guys. If he's not producing, he can be benched. But I feel like Fizz and the organization need to make a decision and commit to something. If Moody is going to be their guy, commit to that. If Frank is going to be your guy, commit to that. But they need to commit to one of these guys and give them the reins. Because if we keep – because right now, Moody, because the way Fizz has been going, we got to remember Dotson got benched for no reason.
Right.
So these guys don't even know if they're going to play night to night. So I feel like it was cool in the beginning, but I feel like Fizz have to commit to somebody. If Moody has been playing terrific, if that guy is Moody and he feels like Moody is the point guard he wants to commit to, I'm fine with that. But we got to commit to somebody and be realistic. If we're going to commit to Moody, get something for Frank. Don't just sit him over there and play him 12 minutes a game and kill his trade value, right? If you're going to commit to Frank, roll him out there and roll with the good, roll with the bad, right? But we got to commit to one of these guys to get the best results, in my opinion.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. Jay, what do you think, man? Do you think tonight's offensive performance has anything to do with Trey Burke, Frank not really playing? Even though Trey Burke not playing had to do with an injury, do you think it had to do with them not playing, the roster? The rotation is a little bit smaller. Guys can be a little bit more comfortable with knowing that they're going to be on the floor. What do you think?
I'm not even too worried about it because you've seen Coach bench players that wasn't putting up numbers or wasn't productive, so I'm not really worried about it. I think Frank is still young and he's still developing. You seen him today as the team was doing good. He was rooting for them. So personally, I'm not really worried about it.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna come to Viv on that question, and then we're gonna move on because I got a rock. So we're gonna get to our last words of the night, Viv. We're gonna get to our player of the game, which Mark already told us his player of the game. But we'll get back to it. You never know. Mark will change his mind like the wind blows. So you never know. I'm gonna come back to him because he might have something different up his sleeve. So, Viv, do you think tonight's offensive performance, by far the best of the season, has something to do with the lineups being a little shorter? And I know you mentioned something about it on Twitter, right? The lineups being short. We both kind of talked about it to each other. About the lineups being a little bit shorter, not having Frank and Trier in that lineup. Do you think...
not really. I don't think the lineup... I just think that they just played a little bit faster. Well, in a sense, they just were moving the ball a little bit faster. Mm-hmm. I don't think it had to do anything with the lineup. I just think they were just more deliberate in their actions.
Okay. And the reason why I asked that question is because, Trey Burke is a one-on-one guy. So is Alonzo Trier, right? But if you have two of them that's always constantly in the game, one of them's in the game at all times, right?
Right.
And then you also got Tim Hardaway always in the game at one time. That can really, really slow down your offense, right? Not slow it down, but it can stop you from getting assists and moving the basketball because you always got somebody in there that's gonna. You almost always got two guys in there that's gonna go one-on-one a lot, right? Now you got one of them out, and then with Frank, you got a guy who he'll distribute the ball but he's not going to be aggressive in trying to attack because that's not his style of play. So now you had a guy like you had Moutier in there who can, you know what? I don't have to worry about Trey Burke coming in the game. My backup is going to be Alonzo Trier tonight because Trey Burke went out, and hopefully Trey Burke gets healthy soon.
Right.
It puts a different mentality when you play.
To be fair, Sim, to be fair, we had a ridiculous 3-point shooting game, so I don't know if it's more of an anomaly in that end or if it's more of the norm. I mean, we've got people hitting crazy amount of threes.
Okay. All right. So we'll see. I'm gonna be paying attention to it as we go forward because I just know sometimes when you bring that lineup down a little bit, and a piece like you bring that lineup down a little bit, and some guys can be like, okay, I can go ahead and just hoop right now because I don't have to worry about getting snatched out. Play a little bit. You might play your game a little bit different. You might not be afraid to be a little bit more aggressive. You're not afraid to make mistakes because who else are they going to put in right now? You know what I mean? It can make a difference in the way that you play. And it also allows lineups to get comfortable with each other, right? If you're only playing 8 guys, those guys are going to get comfortable with each other. You know what I mean? So it's just a question and something to look out for. All right. All right, Prince, I see you wanted to say something.
Hey, I was just gonna big up what you were saying, man, because that's the way I feel. No hate on, Frank or nothing like that. But I think, like you said, as much as we've been screaming, oh man, it's time for them to tighten down the roster and all of that. But you don't really want to see nobody sit on the bench. But due to injury and whatever Frank set out for today. Honestly, I think, like you said, it just gave everybody a sense that, we're not going to be rotated out as fast as we normally would when you got 2 other guys eating, 15, 18, 30 minutes at the guard spot. So I think, like you said, it gave Moutier a chance to really settle down. And I think, it also helped the other guards who was coming in and just Knox being able to play. You know what I'm saying? I don't really remember Hezonja getting much burn tonight. So like you said, I think everybody got a chance to just settle in and, dig their heels in and hoop, like you said. And that's really what I was just big up on.
And it helps the coach to be able to subs, make subs and this and that when you don't have to worry about, I got to get this guy in or that guy in. Well, something to watch for. So definitely something to watch for. We're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen, and talk about the players of the game. My player of the game tonight is Moutier. I feel like Moutier was hitting shot after shot, big shot after big shot. He had 28.7 assists. You can see his confidence growing more and more and more. And I hope that he becomes the guy that we thought he could be coming from China, coming out the draft. I really do. Moutier he's been balling, ladies and gentlemen. If he can continue to do this, he's going to have something to say. When, we talk about the summertime, we keep talking about Kyrie Irving and Dame Lillard and all these, if Moutier continues to play the way he's playing, he's going to have something to say about that. Right? Because, you may get, well, I'm not even going to go into those kind of details right now, but, big shout out to Moutier. He's my player of the game. I want to know who your player of the game is for the night. Before I get to that, I just want to remind you that on December the 6th, live stream, December the 6th, 11 p.m., Alonzo Trier's mother, Marcy Trier, she's going to tell her inspirational story. And any super chats are going to go directly to WIN, which is the Women in Need program. Okay? WIN is the largest provider of shelter and supportive housing for homeless families in New York City. All right, so we are supporting Zoe in his Built for This campaign to raise funds for this organization. So if you have not, make sure you purchase your Built for This t-shirt, $25 a shirt. Proceeds will support the Women in Need program, the WIN program. The December 5th is the last day to buy one of those t-shirts. So make sure you get one. Go to represent.com/Alonzo. December 5th is the last day. And then we're going to follow up on December 6th with this fundraiser here. So big shout out to Zoe and his mom for trying to be, pillars of the community. Big shout out. All right. But my player of the game tonight, as I said, Emmanuel Mudiay. Big shout out to my man Mud. All right. Now, let's get over here to the video chat. I want to get from you guys. I want to know your player of the game, what you think about the Knicks versus Washington, and then I'm out of here. All right. So I'm going to come around. I'm coming to you, Nate. Give me your player of the game, and what do you think about Knicks versus Washington?
Player of the game is Vonleh because of his defense on Giannis. I thought he did a really good job of contesting his shots, trying to keep him out of the paint as best as he could without, getting called for bad fouls. He's really developing into a good player, and I hope that the Knicks really look at him in the offseason. As far as the Wizards, I think we'll see Frank play in this game because you can't have Beal and Wall just going crazy. And I think Frank has got to be out there. And I think Trey Burke's knee thing is he's not going to play in this next game.
We'll see.
So I expect Frank to be back out there, and hopefully he produces so he can get back in the rotation.
Well, let's see. Frank is he's in Fizdale's doghouse right now. So
yeah, but one thing about Fizdale is he's had Dotson in the doghouse, he's had Burke in the doghouse. But they've had chances to come back and play their game and get back in the rotation. That's all Frank has to do, and if he just comes down and plays some darn good defense and makes some shots, I think he'll be back. So I'm not too worried.
All right, we'll see, man. I want Frank to be out there. You know what I'm saying? I want Frank to be out there.
I do too.
But you can't argue. It's hard to argue when you win a game and Frank, he's putting up donuts.
Hey man, if you're struggling, you got to go to the bench. I respect Fizdale for that. I hope he treats everybody like that.
All right, man. All right, Nate.
Good night.
Peace. All right, let me see here. I'm coming to Viv.
Mm-hmm.
Your player of the game. What you think? Your thoughts on Knicks versus Washington?
My player of the game is Mudiay. I think he just had a great game, and he had a clutch three-pointer in the fourth quarter. And for the Knicks and Wizards, I think it's a game that we could also take, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of the Wiz anyway, so let's see what happens. There's no Dwight Howard, so we'll probably have a good advantage in the front court. So we'll see if his takes that in consideration when he plays Cantor or whoever in the Wiz. So in the game against the Wiz. So we'll look forward to that.
All right, Viv.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, man. And I'm out. I'm getting ready to go work out with my daughter for about an hour and a half. So.
All right, cool. Have a good night. Have a good weekend.
Definitely. All right, peace.
Yeah.
All right, Prince. Oh, did I get your take? Did I already get your take, Prince?
No, not yet, man. Like I said, man, this was a great win for us tonight. Like I said, low key, I be walking the fence as a tankster wankster, Sim. I ain't gonna front. You know me, I'm accountable, bro. So hey, it was like I told you when we first started. It was a point in the game where I said, if we lose to Giannis tonight, I'll be happy that we fought hard, but we pulled out a win. So I'm totally elated. My players of the game was Kevin Knox and Emmanuel Mudiay. Big ups to the kids. I've been shouting out their name all season, all off season, you know what I'm saying? Even when the draft was, everything, man. So, Sim, man, keep doing your thing. Look forward to when is our next game? I don't even know who we got next.
Monday night versus the Wizards.
Hey man, work your daughter, man. That's like I said, I'm about to get my daughter in soccer. So I can get her on the basketball court real soon. So hey, brother, keep doing your thing, man. Keep blessing people. Like I told you earlier, your spirit is infectious, man. You do it for this right here, bro. And I appreciate that, man. Shout out to chat. Shout out all the haters. Shout out Naeem, son. My boy who's Mark who be talking crazy sometimes. That's still my guy. And the rest of everybody. Miss my boy Isaiah. I'm out, Sim.
Peace. All right. Let me see. Jay.
Yo.
What's up, man? Give me your play of the game. What you think about the Knicks versus Wiz?
Personally, I know you said play of the game, but I'm gonna give it to the whole team. I think everybody stepped up and everybody did their thing. I think Knox had a block somewhere down the line. I know Moutier hit some clutch shots. Tim Hardaway stepped up. So everybody did their thing. So I ain't mad. And as far as Nikita go, I think that they shouldn't give up on him. Don't give up on the kid, man. Just let him keep developing, and eventually he'll do some things for us, some good things for us.
Yeah. I think he will. I don't think they are giving up, man. I think this is just a part of just experiences and learning for Frank. You know what I mean?
Because you see, Sims, these teams are scouting him for a reason. So they let them stay over there. Let's keep our players and just develop them. We already knew this going into the season, right? So let's not give up.
There it is. All right. Peace, man. Thank you.
All right, man.
Enjoy the weekend.
Good night, everybody.
Peace. All right, Ant.
My player of the game tonight is Kevin Knox. All of that talk that happened before the game and how he performed. And those 5-6 minute stretch he had in the third quarter, it really kept us in the game. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got down like 14-15. He hit 2 big threes, and Moutier. I want to give also shout out Moutier. He hit some big shots in the fourth quarter, but Knox kept us in it, and I like what I saw tonight. Against the Wizards, like I said before, I'm not betting on this team ever. So but I hope we can carry over, win or lose. I hope Knox can come out, not drop 27. We can't expect that every night, but I just want to see that same aggression he played with, that same assertiveness, that sense of, want that he played with tonight. I think he was insulted and he went out with something to prove. And the great players go out with something to prove every night, and that's why they're great. Yeah. So hopefully, he tapped into that. And he plays with that, I'm proving the doubters wrong every game. And I think if he can do that, he'll be great.
Yeah. All right. All right, man. Have a great weekend. Peace.
You too.
Oh, Mark. All right, man. Let's see if you change, man. Who's your player of the game?
My players now, since I'm listening to everybody. We did play like a unit. And who would not? Who would not be if I didn't change my mom for a slight chance? But I'm gonna give it to 4 players: Dotson, Knox, Moutier, and Vonleh.
Okay, I'm with it. All right.
Because they all played a pivotal role because Dotson came in. Because what people don't understand, he hit a timely three that put us up about 1 point. I think it was 135 to 136 after he hit the three. And Vonleh had came down on a defensive play where Giannis, I don't think he traveled. I think he traveled. Vonleh got him to travel. And then I think Moutier came and scored for us or whatnot. But those are my 4 guys. We played hard. We play hard. That's all I say about our team. You come out, you play hard. You show me that. You show me that grit. I'm good. Even if we'd have lost that, I wouldn't have been mad. But as long as we play with some heart and don't let these teams punk us like we really some trash team like the Phoenix Suns. Mm-hmm. But let me ask you a question, Tim, before you go off.
Yeah.
Because this part of me where I really want to keep Frank, but this part of me where if the right offer comes, it has to happen. And they saying Phoenix and Orlando is asking for him. Now, if I was the Knicks and they asking for Frank, give me Jonathan Isaac. Would you take Jonathan Isaac over Frank?
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because the part of me want to keep him because he's still intriguing to me. But I like Jonathan Isaac. He's 6'11", could shoot, could defend. He has tremendous upside.
I mean, you have to.
Go ahead.
We also got to pay attention to. I mean, Moutier, Trey Burke. Those guys may not be here next year.
That's understandable. That is very understandable.
Those
so let me
guys
ask you
may
one more
not be here
question.
next year. So even though Frank is in the doghouse and not playing, it's very good chance that those guys not here. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know. Because I can tell you now, the Knicks are not going to give, I don't care what he has, the Knicks are not going to give off extend a qualifying offer to Moutier because they want to save that cap space. They want to save that cap space.
Right now, you don't even know what he's worth.
Right. So they want to save that cap space. Trey Burke, he just signed to Rock Nation. They're trying to get him paid. He's not going to be here next year. I don't think so. They're trying to get him paid as much as they can, and I don't think the Knicks are going to be looking to give Trey Burke much more than they're giving him now. So he's probably not going to be here next year, right? So in my opinion, it's in the Knicks' best interest to develop, even if he's not, even if, they got him on the bench and they say, part of your development is you're going to take your lumps, and sometimes your lumps is going to be not playing, right?
Yeah.
To develop him, because we could be on that point guard position next year. We might be rocking with Moutier and Frank next year. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to give him a qualifying offer, Moutier, in my opinion, but then they still may be able to sign him. I mean, I don't think Trey Burke is really going to be here. So maybe, I think we need to try to develop him.
Or if Phoenix was offering their first round this year pick and either Mikal Bridges or Josh Jackson, would you take that?
I might. That's
because that first round Phoenix, they really want Frank because, like I said, his defensive prowess, they want to put that with Devin Booker because
and that they
can't play a lick of defense. And if we could snag that, either Josh, because I like Josh Jackson, he played with tenacity. A lot of people might not like him, but he plays with a lot of tenacity.
Yeah.
And Mikal Bridges, he's a knockdown shooter. And like I said, he plays defense the right way. And that first round pick is going to be a bottom 1 to 4.
I don't think they're giving up that much for Frank, though. Come on.
But Frank, all right, so let me ask you one more question. Would you give up our 2020 to trade Frank to get their first round pick for this year?
Maybe.
That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
I don't want to trade Frank at all, but I'm just saying
the options was open.
Right. I've always said not one player on the team is untouchable. Always. Not one, that's just my opinion. Not one player on the team, on any team really, is untouchable, because if the right deal comes along, any team is going to make the right trade. You know what I'm saying? If the right deal comes along. So, but I just let it be known, I am a Frank fan. I want to see the Knicks develop Frank.
Yeah, no, I want to keep him for those defensive prowess. That's why I liked him in the draft over Dennis Smith, was just his defense. But if the right package come, boy, and if we could get into this bottom 4 and then keep ours, which could be from 4 to 10. We will get a point guard and another wing play in the draft, and they got some good wings in this draft. I ain't gonna hold you.
Well, Mark, let me rock, man.
All right, yo.
Just so I don't want Frank to be traded. I want the Knicks to, I want the Knicks to keep Frank Ntilikina. I think that's going to be in the best interest of the team in the long run, because what Mark is talking about, we ain't getting for Frank. Right now, Frank's value is very low. I don't think it's always going to be that way, but his value is very low. Me, I want to see the team develop Frank Ntilikina, right? Try to turn Frank into a legitimate, help him turn himself into a legitimate guard in the NBA, which I think he can and will be. I think Frank Ntilikina still is a very big part of the Knicks' future. Right? Some people may disagree. That's cool. But I think he's still a very big part of the Knicks' future. And part of his growth, part of his development may sometimes be sitting on the bench. It just goes that way. But Knicks fans, I want to see that hopefully the Knicks can come out and have the same type of performance against the Wizards. All right? Play hard, play hungry. Kevin Knox, come out, play hard, play hungry. I feel like that media report really pushed the right buttons. That's what I want to see. And I'm sorry this is so short, ladies and gentlemen, but I got, Me and my daughter got a date tonight, so we're gonna go out and get out there and hoop it up. All right. There we go. Those are my last words for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Let Knox come out. You know, we're going to keep developing Frank, keep developing Knox, keep developing our young guys. Hopefully we can continue to play with the fire that we played with tonight. Start another streak. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to remind you one more time. Live stream December 6th. Alonzo Trier's mother, Marcy Trier, she's going to tell her inspirational story in support of ISO Zoe's Built for This campaign. And in this campaign, Zoe, and now including myself, we're raising funds for the Women in Need program. And that's what we'll be doing on December 6th, while ISO Zoe's mom is telling her inspirational story. Right now, you can purchase Built for This t-shirts by Alonzo Trier. And when you purchase one of these t-shirts, they support the Women in Need program, the WIN program. Proceeds support the Women in Need program. I'm putting the link in the chat. It's represent.com/Alonzo. All right. And, buy your shirt now, because December 5th is the last day that they'll be available. All right, ladies and gentlemen, join us on December 6th. It's going to be a fun night. All right. With that being said, enjoy your weekend. Big shout out to the Knicks, Moutier, Knox, big games. Have a good one. Peace.